Hello, YouTube land. This is Brenton Sawin for Brenton Sawin Mysteries to Search. I've taken a few days off, so kind of just been chilling out, kicking my feet up, not thinking about a whole lot. The last video I posted with Kurt Stokes, the Anubis-looking dogman or Bigfoot video. I was going to go back and do a side-by-side because Kurt had went and got another shot from the exact same spot. So I was going to do a side-by-side comparison to show that there's nothing there now. And but Kurt ended up contacting me today, and he had another shot from standing in the same spot by that tree. He panned over. I don't. We'll talk to him in just a minute about it. But there was a extra-dimensional looking Bigfoot. I mean, it's obviously an ape-looking type build, but it looks kind of like it's extra-dimensional to me. But the odd thing is on the all the way to the other end of that shot, as he pans all the way over in the raw footage, that's where, well, if I stop it there, you'll see the dogman standing there. So in effect, he's standing there in front of this tree, and he's got a dogman standing there with his hand on his chest watching him. And then over maybe 180 degrees or a little less than that, there is a Bigfoot standing there. Kind of looks phased out. Now, this is kind of strange, and some people don't really subscribe to that supernatural or extra-dimensional type theory when it comes to Bigfoot. But ironically, right before Kurt had called me earlier, someone had sent me a story, and this, he said, you really need to have this lady come on your show. And basically, she had a small Bigfoot, according to her, come out of her closet, and it went over to the blinds, and she's in bed. So it went over to the blinds and pulled the drapes and opened the blinds. And there was like a larger Bigfoot out there throwing something, she says, at a UFO. And so, I mean, she sees this, and her husband, says, what's going on? He jumps up and goes and flips the light on, and this Bigfoot turns into like a black mass, this little small juvenile-looking squatch, and it shoots right back to the closet. And it came out of the closet. And that's kind of odd because I've heard of extra-dimensional beings coming from the closet before. There was a story where this one woman was making her child some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and her daughter was like, can you make me an extra one, Mom? Because my friend wants one, and she thought the kid was just playing around and what have you. So she makes her an extra one, and then, the kid goes in the room and playing. She comes back out, Mom, can you make another one? My friend's hungry. And basically, her mom's like, darn, where's she putting these? So she made her one, and she kind of follows her back and peeks in, and the little girl had a table set up beside the closet. And the little girl picks the sandwich up and kind of reaches it towards the closet, and a hand comes out of the closet and grabs it. And then she kind of runs over there and scoots her kid off to the side, and she's like panicked, what the heck was that? And she looks into the closet, and there was a reptilian-looking type creature that runs back toward the back of the closet, and there was like a doorway opens up, and it ran through that, and she was freaked. So I've heard of these type of things happening. Whether these stories are true, I don't know. But I do know that we have some footage here that Kurt has gotten. He certainly is able to keep producing some footage. I know he has no equipment to edit and to Photoshop or do any trickery of any kind. I know that for a fact because I'm trying to help him get set up with some editing equipment. He's recently gotten the internet connection, and I'm helping him out here, and but he is very good at catching these shots. whether they're watching him or what's the deal, who knows? It would all just be speculation and theory, but he produces the shots, and there's something to it because some of the shots are pretty good. So anyway, I was gonna speak with Kurt a little bit about it. Got him here on the phone. And hello, Kurt. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, brother. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. I was kind of surprised today when I heard from you, and I hadn't finished the other side by side comparison with the extra footage to show that where that dogman was standing, the new footage with it not there, and do a side by side, and you'd already come up with another shot, having it still linked to that same footage. So you had two different creatures standing there, seemingly looking at you. When you're doing that, do you just kind of like have a feeling that something is there and you're just panning around, or how does that work?
Yeah, before I get out to the area, I definitely have a feeling, that something's going to show. And like I said, that's why I went out to that area that day when I, got that Nubius dogman looking creature on there. And also it got the what I titled it on my channel and uploaded it Tuesday was Bigfoot morph, gold red,
Right.
And it's in the same shot, and it's in the far right when I pan the red squatch after I passed up the Anubis dogman on that video.
Right.
And the red squatch was a little bit farther out, down on the incline in that shot.
Right.
As I was filming in that area, it's weird. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen this form, though I couldn't, with my eyes, I've seen the form, but I wasn't, at the time, really making out the details. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And also the phone was on full zoom, and
right.
But in the original, in the 2 minute, I panned back and got the dogman again.
Right.
But it's a strange thing even for me now, to get that both in one shot,
Yeah, it's amazing how they would be standing there looking at you, pretty confident that you're not going to see them. And I was talking with Josh Peck, that has the sharpening podcast, and he's wrote a couple books. He wrote one book called Quantum Creation, and then another book on cherubim and angels and chariots and stuff like that. But we were talking, and he was talking about an extra dimensional being. Because I see that you're standing there and you're filming around because you feel like something might be around or what have you. And you're kind of just winging it, and then seeing this stuff later in the footage. But Josh explains it pretty cool, really. He was saying, like, if you're a three-dimensional being and you're interacting with a two-dimensional plane or two-dimensional beings, you have a direction that they don't have. That if they're looking at you and you're kind of standing somewhere where they can see you, you could step to the side in a direction that's not even available to them, and then they couldn't see you. So a third dimensional reality like we live in, if you have a fourth dimensional type being, then they can, it looks kind of like to me that they're kind of phased out just a little bit, like they've either partly stepped out or they seem confident that you can't see them, but it looks odd, as if they I mean, even with that dog man with his hand over his chest, that almost looks Star Trek-ish, like he has some kind of technology or something. I mean, it's just so strange, man. It seems Nephilim like, like there's some kind of technology or some kind of something strange. And of course, I'm just guessing, but I do believe that it certainly is. It's physical, but it's able to step out of view very easily to where they're confident that we can't see them or you can't see them. Does that seem like the case with you when you've seen them before?
Yeah, that. I mean, that's a good case for what you explained. I would certainly lean towards that. Though in the past, I've seen these creatures as I would see a person, and not been that far away from them. And I've always, up until about, I guess, 2 or 3 years now, I've leaned more towards there's something where some of them can, there's some kind of quantums involved,
Right.
where they can't come in and out. But I have seen them where I would swear that they were as flesh as blood as me and you.
Yeah, and that's why on the first interview I did with you, I explained that just because something's extra dimensional doesn't mean that they aren't flesh and blood. They're just able to step into a direction that we don't have. But they eat, and they, I really went through that with from a scripture from the Bible, basically that talked about that they have flesh, but the glory is different. So I mean, we can kind of guess about what Paul's saying when he talked about that, but angelic beings, they're ministering spirits, but they could eat with people, and they wrestled with people, fought with people, and so they were physical. And even Jesus, when he resurrected, he told Thomas to touch me and see if I'm not, flesh and bone. So these beings are flesh and bone, and they're in our dimension. But when they get into a situation where they need to escape, they can somehow just sidestep out of it. And that's very interesting how that they are seemingly doing that. Have you ever seen one and then it kind of just disappeared too quick for your liking?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like it took off and then it was gone.
Like it took 2 or 3 steps, and there's no way the brush could have hit it all. Like it just vanished.
Right.
Into the brush, but it didn't. The brush wasn't thick enough. The thickest to cover a body like that.
Right.
And
that they're physical. Because the encounter you had with that really big dog, man, when you were fishing with your buddies, that thing came crashing through the woods trying to make a bunch of noise and with breaking limbs and all that kind of stuff. So that they're physical. And
they gotta be physical. They have to be.
Yeah. Well, supernatural beings are physical. That's
And the day I went up there to get the reshot of a comparison shot to show that the Anubis-looking dogman was not there, when I got into the area, after I had made a couple comparison shots with the video and still, there was stuff in there crashing around. There was stuff walking around me, and I could not see. It's thick in there. It's like a jungle, but I could not pick up from what points where my hearing was picking, because it was all around,
Right.
And it was definitely bipedal, and there was more than one of them. And after that, I kind of put it up and, called it a day.
Yeah, you kind of, did you get spooked?
Normally that doesn't happen,
Right. So you kind of got a little bit scared because of the footfalls and what have you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was by myself that time, so,
right.
Better to be, I mean, everybody, you'd be foolish not to be scared,
Yeah, I agree.
So, just being honest, sometimes you have to back down a little bit,
Right. Yeah, because you may be kind of doing something that they interpret as maybe aggressive, or I mean, who knows? I mean, you don't know. That's if I heard footfalls and cracking around and more than one, I would definitely be packing it up and getting out of there.
Yeah.
Maybe filming
There
over
was
my
the
shoulder
past
as
where
I'm
some of
leaving.
these things like that I've known in the past were areas where it kept going, and these particular ones would show. I knew at the time that they were not violent, you know, or I felt that. But this area, with this Anubis dogman and just recently shot, I don't really know, you know, and I don't know how many of them were in there, so, you know, it was probably better just to do it as I did it, you know, and leave, you know, save it for another day.
Right. Now, so when you were filming this, you kind of you're saying that you maybe noticed that there was an outline that you kind of were picking up something, because I noticed that you were kind of panning around with the camera in the same spot.
I was making the camera. I was circling the camera.
Right.
You know, just to make sure that if the thing took off, you know, I was gonna, you know, have a good shot or good start on it, whatever direction it was gonna move.
Right.
But I couldn't make it. I mean, to me, it looked like a big, you know, outline. You know, I knew it was something, like a lot of times, but I couldn't, you know, I couldn't really tell the facial features on it when I was using that cell phone. And
right.
I mean, the phone picked it up better than my eyes did. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So the Bigfoot creature is the one you're saying you saw the mass of it, but you couldn't make out the features.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, but I did not see that dogman on that same film. I did not see that whatsoever. You know.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like they both were there watching. You think maybe there might be some kind of something that they're guarding there or something?
You know, I went back and I took somebody with me this time, actually my brother, and I went to that actual area because I never made it to that actual point. I just filmed the area where he was standing by the tree that day, and then I got out of there because of the footfalls and all that stuff, something, you know, where it sounded like there was more than one. And then I went back up there yesterday, and I actually went to where the tree was, where it was about 100 yards out. And that brings up another thing. In the last interview, where I said it might have been 6.5, 7.5 foot tall,
right,
I was wrong, and it's looking like you were right, where you said it was 8.5, maybe 9.5.
Right.
Because when I actually went to that spot, it was on a downcline, you know, and it had to be 9.5, maybe 10 foot tall on that dogman.
Right. Yeah, that's huge.
So I was wrong on the last interview when I said 6.5, 7. You know.
Yeah. I was just guessing, kind of from the building days, and then also knowing a little bit about focal length and depth of field and things like that, and of the camera. It just seemed. I mean, I was taking a guess. So, but if you went back and looked, right, that's pretty cool. That's a huge creature. It looks like to me that maybe the dogman. I mean, I'm kind of guessing, but the way it was standing, I think there was something to it having its hand over its chest. I've heard that before when that one guy who's popular for the underground. He used to dig the Phil Schneider. Yeah.
Yes.
He was the geologist guy who supposedly, allegedly worked for the government, and he got lowered down in a basket into a tunnel that they were drilling, basically, and they hit a tunnel, and a bunch of smoke and sootiness came out, and he got lowered in the basket down along with he said that an Army Ranger guy, and there was a gray type alien creature, allegedly, that was there, and he waved its hand over his chest, and he made a gesture when he was telling about it, just like that dogman was doing, and it just, I don't know, it just reminded me of that. Maybe there's nothing to that. I don't know, but I like speculating, and that's why we call this show Mysteries to Search, because I'm trying to find the answers. And but it
Oh, yeah,
almost
yeah.
seems as if the
Definitely.
dogman is the handler for the Bigfoot.
Wow. Yeah, that's, I haven't heard about that till now, but that's interesting. I mean, that's really interesting, you know.
Yeah, and it is a
That,
guess. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back over and check that out, you know,
Yeah.
that
Maybe,
story.
is there any history of like Native American mounds or burial grounds or history for Native Americans living in that area?
I don't have any history on that. I do know when I go into this area, which a long time ago I had Squatch experience in there, but never dogmen.
Right.
And I just got the feeling it was I'm not saying it's sacred ground, but it's primitive, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's untouched almost.
Right. Now,
And
is there any caves around near that area that you know of?
yeah, you could say there is, but not large ones,
Right.
you know?
All
Now they
right.
might run into larger systems, you know, but there is some smaller ones around there, you
Right.
know. And
Now.
there's fresh water too. I mean, there's stream, you know, there's
Right.
pretty clean water
Right.
down there. And
So, so that's north of
yeah,
where you live, right? In Henry County.
yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah,
So it's still in Kentucky. Um,
yeah,
so basically, we've looked at footage of yours from um, the Mammoth Cave area, and then the national park. What is that national park again?
Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone, and then this footage that is north of Henry County. Is there any state park area up there, or
No, all I can say it's close to Carrollton,
okay?
Kentucky.
All right. Kentucky's got some squatchy areas, don't they?
Well, they do, and it's looking more and more like it's more dogman too. But
All right.
you know,
Well, we're awfully close to Michigan, where Dogman is a very hot topic, with the Michigan Dogman and what have you. So, yeah, it's we're not that far away, and I know that we have cave systems. We got one of the largest caves in the world. So, when it comes to some of those type theories about where they originate from, I would think that Kentucky would definitely be even the people that believe Bigfoot is similar to a Gigantopithecus, and when they look at the maps of the temperate rain, when they look at the how much rainfall, I guess, is in the area, and then they take the sightings for Bigfoot and they overlap that on the map, and it seems that there's a connection with the or at least the reported cases with the amount of rainfall yearly and and the sightings for Squatch. So I think that the Dogman thing certainly would overlap in the Squatch areas, and maybe it seems like it also maybe is increasing. I've heard a lot of people wondering if the activity is increasing more and more. I was talking to someone earlier about that.
yeah, it seems like it is. I mean, I know it is for me. But that map you were talking about they came out with, that does correlate. I do believe in that map. I've seen it. With
Right.
the water weights and the Squatch sightings.
Right.
But, going back to it, I mean, about 20 years ago, up until about, I don't know, sometimes I still believe in the Gigantopithecus, I'm not saying I'm totally
Right.
into all the quantums, I mean,
Right.
I'm kind of still, because I've seen the things, and I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's the thing where I'm not totally convinced on all the supernatural,
Right.
part, but
Maybe it's both.
you know what I'm saying?
maybe there's more than one kind. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm thinking. There's got to be a lot of different kinds.
yeah.
And who knows? I can only go by what I'm seeing and what I see, and then what the camera picks up. As far as convincing people what they want to believe is fine. I enjoy putting this stuff out because, like I said, I just want to show, and I can only do what the camera picks up, and then what I see and tell my experience on it.
Yeah,
but
we're just collecting. We're just collecting information and and theorizing. I don't know for sure. I'm just I'm collecting.
You just want information. You just want to know.
Yeah.
Just like I do, and I'm not trying to sway anybody on on how these things are there or why. But I gotta show, man. It's like if you see something, you gotta show it.
Right. Here before too terribly long, I hope to sometime this month come up and we'll go to one of the state parks. We'll pick one of the 3 areas that you go to, and we'll check out one of the areas, or maybe 2 or whatever. But I'd say that we pick one of the areas and go exploring. Get some footage and see what we come up with. Kind of do a little expedition.
That would be great. That would be good.
Yeah.
And because it's starting to turn, hopefully it's starting to turn cooler. It hasn't yet. I mean, we've had 2 or 300, almost 100-degree days here now in the last week.
Right.
But it will start, turning cooler where it's easier on your body.
Right.
It's rough out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was too hot this summer for me to go during the daytime doing that. I'm a little bit overweight and a smoker and all that. It probably have killed me. So the fall time expeditions is what we do.
I'm going that way too.
Yeah. But hey, man, we'll have some fun. Maybe camp out, something like that. Get some footage. Do some. I'll bring maybe some stories, and we'll videotape telling some stories on site, and we'll have a blast. And maybe Jeff Pendleton that lives near here. He we might bring somebody else. I don't know. We'll talk about that, I guess. But I kind of look forward to it, man. I like getting a campfire going and cooking some stuff on the campfire, and you never know, man. We might come back with the footage that that blows everybody's mind.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, more the merrier. I don't believe that. I believe if I'm there and with other people, it's fine too. I know some of these beings, they're fine with it.
Maybe someone will think, they say, no, that you got that from the Jack Links commercial. Be sitting there cooking a hot dog, and the Sasquatch come up and take your hot dog from you.
I tell you. But no, it sounds good. Like I said, the more the merrier, and
Right.
And there's also safety in numbers.
Yes. Yeah. According to Vic Condiff, man, we
I still go out alone. When I that's all I can do. And like I said, I believe I am protected. But there's a time when you have to listen to your inner, instinct here, or God, telling you it's enough for today.
Okay. Yeah. Now the still frame that you sent me, that kind of a Scott Carpenter type theory there that we're getting into, but the still frame that looks there's something down in the right corner of the still frame that seems kind of like a some kind of alien looking creature.
Yeah, that was in the video also.
Right, and you took a still frame from the video, I guess, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
All right.
It's in the video. I mean, it's in the clip you cut, and we got up, but it's hard to see it. It's not real hard if you're looking, but it definitely looks like it. You know, it definitely looks like it's some kind of extraterrestrial being.
Right.
I've had them before show up in the film, but that one looked like it was, just standing right there. You know.
Yeah, that's mind blowing stuff. But I mean, the first time I ever heard that was Scott Carpenter, and when he had that picture of that dog man, and there was something seemingly on its shoulder, looking over the shoulder, and sure enough, that's what it looked like. And he has that back trail camera thing he puts on his shoulder, so he's feeling behind him. That dog man basically stepped up within 3 foot of him, sniffing him, and had a little creature on its shoulder of some kind. And that one picture that you have, it looks like a dog man in the picture and couple squatches. Several look. The picture you used for your avatar.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's several things in that. Maybe Carpenter had a dog man and then a little baby squatch or something. It seems like I've seen pictures like that before, where the dog man has like a little squatches for pets or something, or like I said a minute ago, maybe they're the handlers for the Bigfoot. But some people think they fight, so who knows? It's all theory.
Well, I've seen them in the areas together in the past. I mean, it's obviously true on this last video I shot that they're together.
Right.
I mean, they're in the same area. They're in the same pan, on the frames.
Right.
I've often thought that, they have to be little at some time. But I've almost, from my experience, think that they play together. It might sound weird, but,
Yeah.
Just like children, they don't, children are children, they don't know, they don't have any, what would you call it, harbor anything against anything, and they'll play, kids play together. So I figure it would be the same as Squatch and Dogman.
Yeah, there might be different groups that are friendly toward each other, and then there's maybe some rogue ones. Because I know some of the stories that Vic gets on Dogman Encounters, they seem awfully rogue. But that's like society and human beings, man. You got some people that are a little bit rogue, and some people are friendly, and
True.
So they may be the same.
And that's what we only have to go by on it, I mean, I firmly believe that. You got ones that are kind, and you got ones that don't want to be bothered. And if you stumble across that one, who knows, and it's very possible,
Yeah.
That's how it operates, Some of them are easygoing, and some of them don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah, well, that's why we call this Mysteries to Search. I really enjoy doing that, collecting stories of every different kind. I know that some people get a little bit mad when we talk about this stuff in a supernatural aspect. I'm just theorizing. I don't have any proof on nothing other than I believe some of the videos is real. But we're guessing. We're just searching these things out and seeing what we can discover. And over time, after we collect enough stories and enough footage, we'll be able to start making some connections. But I appreciate you coming on today, Kurt, and I'll be talking to you. You have a good afternoon, man.
Yeah, anytime, Brendan. I appreciate it, brother. Like you said, everybody wants to know, and I think it might be in vain if the people who are seeing it and getting it don't show it.
Right. Yeah.
But that doesn't, that's all that's going on. You got to show it.
Right.
If not, it just gets not seen. But like I said, people can make their own conclusion to it.
Right.
But it's being shown. You know,
Yeah.
we want
And
to
it,
know.
no sense in the Bigfoot, no sense in the Bigfoot community fighting with each other and trying to outdo one another. No, nobody needs to try to outdo me. I'm just having some fun and
No, I don't
doing
think,
the best I
and
can.
I don't want to do that either. I'm just showing my stuff, you know, and in the process, you're trying to help me to put it together and explain it a little bit more, you know.
Right.
And no, you know, you can't. What somebody sees and what somebody films, man, that's what they're filming and seeing, you know. So
right, you
really
definitely do that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know any
I
whether or
try.
not it's real or not. You definitely come up with some stuff that looks real, and you know, and I know you don't have any abilities to fake stuff. I know that for a fact because I've been to your house and I know what you have, and I've uploaded onto your channel for you. And at this point, you're working your way towards getting those other capabilities. But you basically have a camera to go out and get some footage and a phone, and you upload that way the best you can on your internet connection you have now, and you're working your way towards those other capabilities. But anybody that says that you're faking something, they're just dead wrong about it because I know you aren't.
Yeah, and that's how I've always done it. I just have my phone into my camera, and I know I've been taking some hits on it for saying I'm out of date, you know, but it's true. I just didn't. I don't. I don't have the money for it, you know, and I
You
didn't
keep
think
getting
there was
those
a
shots,
problem
you will.
the way I do it.
you
Yeah.
all in due time.
Yeah.
You're getting there though. You're progressing, and you're only basically the computer, which I've got a tower for you, and we got you almost set up. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You just keep getting that
Yeah,
footage.
I appreciate that, you know, and I'm sure there's so much more to come, you know, in getting this footage. And
Right.
each day, I mean, you know, you get closer to getting the best, you know. That's what I feel, that I'm getting close.
Well, it seems like to me the footage is getting better.
It is getting better. It's getting better. They're showing better.
You've had a few that were pretty good. I mean, Bigfoot watching me one's pretty good. The dogman off in the distance, that's not, you know, that you can see it, but it's not as good. But this last dogman one was a really good. It was excellent, and I don't care what anyone says. They can say whatever they want to someone else. Don't tell me. But I know it looks good, and I've looked at it, and the things I look for, I know that there's something standing there. There's a few things I don't want to reveal that I do that I can tell, because then, you know, there's reasons I don't want to say everything because that's how I weed out fakes. That one seems real to me, and
I've
this.
welcomed anyone in the past, like I said, on Dogman Encounters to break the stuff down, you know, break it down, you know, because nothing I shot has ever been faked, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't.
Because I don't need to, you know, I wouldn't want to, you know. And there's nothing on my conscience, you know, about that because it's all what was there, you know.
Right.
And but the shots are getting better. I'm knowing the areas better, you know. They're letting me get more familiar with them, and I can feel that, you know.
Right.
And like I said, here shortly will be, you know, and everybody hasn't seen all my footage, you know, and you are going to get a lot more of it, you know, to go through. But there will be a time when it gets really, you know, the shots are going to be.
Is the area where you got that footage, is that fairly close to you where you can go up there and get some kind of a little more easier than going to that state park or the other two state parks?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be a lot closer.
Okay.
But there's different ones. Like I said, in Daniel Boone, there's the dog, what I know is a dog woman, you know.
Right.
And then there's the shot that came out, the Bigfoot Dogman shot that came out of there. And I know where that's at, you know. And that's, I totally different creature than this Anubis thing I got up here.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's well, hopefully here soon, man. We'll get together and we'll just do a little camping thing, man. Have some fun and see if we come up with some footage. You know. Yeah.
I guarantee you we will. I almost can guarantee.
I might get spooked, man, and then be bailing out on you though. So I'm gonna sleep in the van, you know. It's like I'm going to the truck.
I can almost guarantee it though. I'm not afraid to say it. You know.
I've had a few crazy encounters in my life, man. And I don't know how well I'll handle it if I hear some footsteps around the campfire. Yeah.
There might be a lot of that, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've got to go pick my kid up, Kurt, man. Thank you, and be blessed, brother. And I'll talk to you tomorrow or something, man. Thanks.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks, Brendan, and thanks for all your, people and my people for watching and being supportive.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, all you out there watching this video, I ask that you go subscribe to Kurt's channel. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll also put in the cards, if you click on the top right of the screen, you'll see a little circle. If you hover the mouse or however if you're on a phone, I think you just tap the screen and a little circle will pop up. Touch that circle, menu will drop down, and I'll put his channel also in there, Kurt Stokes 19. Go subscribe to his channel and watch some of his videos. And like this video, share the video, subscribe, comment, all those things that you can do to help out. And God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.